Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Tuesday, January 25th slate of NBA games. I'm really excited to dive into today's slate. I really think we have a good one. But first, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. Our first play of the day, which was Jared Allen. I don't even remember, but either way, ends up not playing. That one ends up getting voided. We end up winning our money back, thankfully, but it's still just kind of annoying because we could have been potentially in a better position. Instead, we end up 1-1. We did have the Phoenix Suns -7. Oh my God, that was atrocious. That was absolutely atrocious. They won by 6, I think. So it literally, if they win by one more point, it's at least a push. But unfortunately, it is what it is. We end up losing that one. And then we did also have. Let's see. We did also have Josh Giddey over 6.5 rebounds. He cashes it in the last minute of the game. So we end up going 1-1, losing a little bit of juice. But at the end of the day, it's all right. I'm not too mad about losing just a little bit of money. When overall we've been really successful. So hopefully we can pick it up today. I found 4 plays that I really like. So let's go ahead and dive into it. But first, if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, and hopefully we can hit that maybe by... Let's set a goal for Valentine's Day. Can we hit 3,000 by Valentine's Day? Maybe. So that's going to be our goal for right now. So let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. I'm really excited for it. So our first play of the day is going to be Christian Wood of the Houston Rockets over 19.5 points versus the San Antonio Spurs -115 odds. As we all know, the Spurs, they aren't a very good interior defense type of team, and that's kind of where Christian Wood thrives. So the Spurs do give up the 5th most points per game to opposing centers, so I do feel like we have a bit of an advantage there. On top of that, the Spurs, even though they are coached by Greg Popovich, they still are the 8th worst defense in the entire NBA right now. So nothing too crazy, to be honest, that one's shocking to me, but they are the 8th worst defense. And Christian Wood at home, he's been really good recently. He has actually covered this 19.5 points, so at least scored 20 in 2 of his last 3 home games. The other one, he did just have a rough night in general. I think he got into a little bit of foul trouble too, which definitely does not help him at all. On top of that, both of these teams do play at a very fast pace. Houston plays at the 3rd fastest pace in the entire NBA. And the Spurs, they play at the 6th fastest. So both of these two teams are top 6 in the entire NBA in pace. Lots of shots, and I think a lot of those are going to be going to Christian Wood today. So I really like that first play. Christian Wood over 19.5 points versus the San Antonio Spurs, -115 odds. So that's our first play of the day. Our second one is going to be KarlAnthony Towns. He hurt us last time. He finishes right on the hook last time. But we're going back to the well on him. KarlAnthony Towns over 1.5 3-pointers versus Portland, -155 odds. Now, I know, this one, it is juiced. It is definitely juiced, -155 odds. But I'm trying to provide you guys with winners. I just want to see everybody making money. And so I think this one is an absolute sharp bet. I think this is going to be a very, very solid play. So, the Portland Trailblazers, they do give up the 4th most points per game from the 3-point line. So they give up a ton of 3-point shots just in general, not even to the center position alone. And when it does come to the center position, they do give up a lot of points. They actually give up the 3rd most points per game to opposing centers in the entire NBA. So they give up a lot of points from centers, and they give up a lot of 3-pointers in general. So those two things I do think is going to give us a little bit of an advantage. And on the road, KarlAnthony Towns has been hitting threes like crazy. He has cashed in 3 of his last 5 on the road. So 60%, I'll definitely take my odds with that. And Portland, well, they're not necessarily the best defensive team. And I think we kind of knew that. They're a very up-tempo team. They do have a lot of firepower on offense, but they do have the 5th worst defense in the entire NBA. So I think we see an advantage there. They're bad on defense. They're bad on defense in the center position, and they give up a lot of threes. I think all of this leads to a good night for us. So that's our second play of the day. KarlAnthony Towns over 1.5 threes versus the Portland Trailblazers, -155 odds. Our third play of the day is going to be the Toronto Raptors, -2.5 versus the Charlotte Hornets, -110 odds. Now, the reason I'm taking this line is because it just doesn't make sense. And we've seen this a lot this year is when a line doesn't make sense, then the odds makers, they know something that we don't. Now, Charlotte has been an absolute cover machine recently, and they have been just on fire. But in Toronto, Toronto literally, I bet on Fred VanVleet in my parlay last time these two teams played. Or wait, I don't know. It was the Toronto Raptors and the Portland Trailblazers. Last time these two teams played, the Toronto literally got blown out. They lost by like 20 something. Either way, they got blown out. And so I do think that this is a really good bounce back spot for the Toronto Raptors against a very fast tempo Charlotte team. And Toronto, as a home favorite, they are 10-8 on the year, so they do cash more often than not. And Charlotte, on the other hand, I know that they have been covering a lot, but one of their worst, they do play a lot worse on the road, is basically what I'm trying to say. They are 14-13 against the spread as an away team in general, so nothing too crazy. It's pretty much 50-50 of if they're gonna cover or if they're not on the road. So, and if you look at this bet historically, Toronto, they have covered in 2 of their last 3 games versus Charlotte Hornets, and now that everyone is back with Siakam is healthy, I think Gary Trent's healthy. We're looking at OG Anunoby. We're looking at Scotty Barnes. All these guys are healthy, and so I do think it's a pretty good matchup for the Toronto Raptors, and I do think they can get it done. Toronto minus 2.5 versus the Charlotte Hornets minus 110 odds. And our final play of the day is going to be the rookie, Cade Cunningham, over 16.5 points versus the Denver Nuggets minus 125 odds. Cade Cunningham has cashed this line in 2 straight games back-to-back, including his last game, which was against the Denver Nuggets, so they're just playing each other 2 times in a row. But he has cashed in 2 straight there. In the last 3 games, also, the Denver Nuggets, they have been the 3rd worst defense in the entire NBA. I don't know if they just decided to kind of stop playing defense or what the case is, but in the last 3 games, they've been the 3rd worst defense in the entire NBA. Also, in the last 3, they've decided to play at a really fast pace. They are the 5th fastest pace in the entire NBA in the last 3 games. So between those 2 things, they play at a really fast pace. They don't play a lot of defense. So I do see a little bit of an advantage here. And Cade Cunningham, this is a pretty crazy stat, by the way. Cade Cunningham, when he has 15 or more shot attempts this year, he has cashed this line in every game besides 1, which is just absolutely insane. And I definitely think that since both these teams do play at a pretty fast pace, I do think he's going to get over 15 shot attempts at least. So I do think we're in a pretty good spot for that. I think he's shot over 15. I can't remember. I counted it, but I forgot to write it down, so that one's on me. But I think it was like 11 or 12 times that he has shot over 15 attempts. So the fact that he shot over that many times and he's been able to hit this over it just gives us a really good advantage. So that's our 4th and final play. Cade Cunningham over 16.5 points versus the Denver Nuggets minus 125 odds. So that is going to do it for me. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. As of right now, like I said, we're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, and I can't do that without your guys' help. So hopefully we can have a really good day today. I'm really looking to bounce back and make some money. All these 1-on-1 days, it's driving me crazy. I need a winning day. So hopefully today can be the day. But for now, this is King Standard signing out. Peace.